of me, I can shit it out. Me is 8. I think I owe Drake an apology.
Bang your door, Waka Flocka.
Tweet about that, you little fucking fruit.
Yeah, dickhead. Okay, so we're talking deep issues at the end there with Rough Styles. Very intelligent guest. Should we try and replicate that now with another UK artist, another highly respected and extremely talented artist who also puts his feet where his mouth is? If that even makes sense. Sounds terrible, that. You know what I mean. He goes and does things. He doesn't just talk things, he goes and does things. He doesn't just write things and put them on music. He goes and he does things as well. He goes out to countries. He gets arrested at airports. Don't laugh at that. What are you on about?
No, I just realised how bad his foot in his mouth must taste. It must taste like a pack of Doritos, cheesy Doritos or something. I'm
going to ask him now. That's my first question. Keep your questions coming to us. The Friday Night Live Show at hotmail.com. We're going to go in now and hope that Lowkey is with us then. Of course, we're a little bit late for him, but we were talking to Rough Styles there. Of course, it was worth every single second. Let me just navigate the alphabet of this massive, massive phone book in the studio. Let's have a look. Yes, I think we've got the number. Let's try him now. It's the Friday Night Live Show. The people have already sent the questions through. They're all on Orange. They're on MSN. We're looking at them now. We will get to them. Send your questions through. It's Lowkey. It's the Friday Night Live Show.
Cheesy Doritos.
Shot to Skinny Diner.
Hello.
Good evening, Lowkey. Welcome to the Friday Night Live Show.
Yes, how you doing, Mr. Montana?
Yes, I'm okay, man. Sorry we're a little bit late. Our first guest, Rough Styles, was talking about the Zeitgeist film. We just had to discuss it. You know how it is. But thanks for taking the time out, man. I know you're always a busy man, but seem to be more so busy this year than ever.
Yeah, thankfully it seems like I have been, but sorry it's taken so long to really get this pinned down, bruv.
Oh, don't speak of it. This is what we do. This is part of our job.
Yeah. It's good, man. It's good. But yeah, no, it's been. I can't complain. I guess it's been quite active recently, and it looks like it's about to get a bit more active soon as well.
Right, we need to talk about that in detail, how it's going to get a bit more active. But before we deal with the future, I say we just deal with the past. Now, we spoke to you, I think it was about 7 months ago or something like that. It's quite a few months ago.
Yeah.
And, of course, in the world of Lowkey, a lot happens. What have been some of the major events and things that have really filled your diary over the past 6 to 7 months then?
Well, I think last time we spoke was, it might have been, I think it was the day the snippet with the Immortal Technique tune came out, and I was just completely really, really tired, and I don't think I really expressed myself very well in that interview. But basically, yeah, since then, had the single with Tech came out and did quite well. The Long Live Palestine Part 1 and Part 2 single came out, and that did quite well. That we got to #1 in the Amazon hip hop charts and the iTunes hip hop charts as well with that. So that was very good. Since then, Something Wonderful's come out. I'm just basically, to be honest, concentrating on the album, Soundtrack to the Struggle, just getting that finished now, actually. I'm just literally looking at the track list in front of me now. That should be coming out, at this rate, probably in June or July. I've got the Best of Lowkey mix CD coming soon. That should be coming before that. I've got 3 tracks that I'm going to release for free through my YouTube channel. I'm just going to fling those out there. They're tracks that didn't really make the album, but that I still think are quite good and some people might like, so I'm going to put them out there. I'm going to shoot a video for a few different tracks. The Obama Nation video is coming out probably at this rate on Monday or Tuesday. That'll be online. So yeah, man, that's just life of an independent artist, bro. Just trying to put everything together, man.
The thing I love about you, Lowkey, and I've always loved this about you when I saw you live that time, was that you're very modest. You don't do this sort of yeah, that was amazing, we put this single out, went #1, that was astonishing, I am the best, everybody is worse than me. You know, you use phrases like quite good when most artists would go, wow, we went #1.
Well, to be honest, bro, I think if I was to be into this whole self-glorification side of hip-hop, which I do think is a side of hip-hop and comes from sort of people that want self-empowerment, people that want this sort of the battle element, I think. But with me personally, I think that my music, what my music, ultimately I'd like my music to stand for, is the equality that all of us, you know, is the fact that all of us are just human beings. And, you know, my music, the moral of my story, I hope, will not be, oh, wasn't he so cool, or oh, wasn't he so great, as most of these other rappers think. I hope the moral of my story is that we are all one, ultimately. So regardless of what happens in my career, I'm not going to get stuck up like these other guys, because I just think ultimately it's the people that make you, and it's the people that can break you as well at any point. So it's important to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you just teased us there by saying you're looking at the track listing of the new album. Now, there's so many of your fans in tune now, particularly the makers of your new blog, which I want to talk about as well throughout the interview.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's incredible. Big up Lorenzo, big up Aaron, big up everybody involved with that. I think that was, it's been very helpful, that blog. So,
yeah. So we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail later. Now, the track listing then. Could you perhaps reel off some of the names, perhaps some of the concepts? I'm not talking about names of guest artists, because you don't need guests.
No problem. Basically, I have a track on there entitled "Too Much," which is basically when I think we in this society have a real problem with consumption. And ultimately, I think it's the constant need for consumption which is driving us to a point where humanity is going to be seriously challenged. And so that song basically talks about that. It talks about, I think, the economy and the system by which, for instance, if you have a £5 note on it, it says it's basically an IOU for gold. A £5 note. It says, I promise to pay the on demand the sum of £5. So really what we're handing about is IOUs for gold that doesn't really exist anymore. So there's this track basically, Too Much is about that. There's a track called Since 1942, which is about this this racist guy that lives about 3 doors away from me. And I live in a place called Ladbroke Grove, and he lived here since it was an all-English or an all-white area as such, and it's changed a lot over the years. And so basically it's about, you know, life from his perspective and his story and how he got to the situation he's in now, where he's somebody that ultimately feels slightly invaded and slightly scared by what's going on around him. So it's just sort of...
So you're writing from the perspective then of somebody who has issues with anybody who's not white and English.
Pretty much. Not really from his perspective. It's more telling his story, because he has quite an interesting story. And, you know, as incoherent as a lot of the things he says are, because he's very drunk most of the time, it comes from a human place, what he's saying and why he feels the way he feels, and, you know, the way he's been treated by this country, the way his family's been treated, and what he's been through. So, you know, it's not really empathizing, but it's empathizing in a way. It's sort of just presenting this man's life as what it has been, as to what it is now. Because when you see him, you don't see him in the context of his past. Everybody is a product of their own history. So, you know, it's basically bringing his history to light. There's another track I have on there, which is called Best Friend, which I don't really want to give away the ending, but that's basically about me and my best friend, but, you know, there's a twist in it somewhere at the end. And then there's another one called The Tale of Two Terrorists, which is, I don't really want to give that one away too much either.